Good day. Welcome. We are here to do morning musings. Tara and I, Tara from TSW Life Coaching, and we are just here to see what comes up, what we need to talk about. We do have a theme today. Um, Welcome, Tara. First, before we get into our topic, Tara's going to talk about what we have going on in Medicine Hat.
Okay, so we are doing a live session, um, which is just awesome because I love being in your energy and working with you, and it's so fun to do it. I have fun over the Zoom too. The Zoom. Apparently, I'm showing my age. But this one's going to be live at Nosh downtown, and it's September 18th
Yep.
at 7 p.m. And we're going to do a live hour and a half kind of session where we get messages, get healing messages, whatever kind of comes. We're going to do it. Nothing's going to really be planned or prepped other than just some basic stuff. And we will just see where we go. We'll go wherever the collective energy takes us. And I'm excited about that. I love doing stuff like that. So if you are in the area, it will be, I don't want to say once in a lifetime because I love doing them with you, but it'll be an experience, that's for sure. And it's again at Nosh downtown. And you can buy tickets on my Square site. And I believe you have it posted and I have it posted as well. So
Yep.
yeah, would love to see you if you're around.
And we also have it set up this time where you get a free drink, non-alcoholic drink, I will say, that is part of the package, which is really cool.
Yeah, Nosh is going to create a special mocktail for us. And so that's why we're calling it Mocktails and Messages.
Awesome.
So it's going to be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'll put the link in the description as well for you to buy your tickets, and it's going to be a good evening. So today we are talking about triggers. What triggers us? What we need to learn from these triggers, and what they're showing us as we grow and learn and become more of who we are. So,
Hmm.
yeah, do you want to start, or do you want me to?
Um, I don't know. I don't know where to start. It's such a
Okay,
big topic, but
it
I
is.
guess I guess it's my take on triggers is not always the first response because of course my ego gets in there first. Uh, but it's always a gratitude. It's a thank you for showing me where I still have some work. Thank you for inviting me to expand and grow. No, it doesn't feel nice. And that's why I usually go into autopilot first, but I know now how that feels in me and I'm like, ooh, doesn't feel good. And so it cues me that something's been triggered within me that's inviting me to look at it deeper.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, trigger is like a response to what someone has said or done that makes you kind of go in your head, possibly, or react as in lash out, or because I'm seeing a lot of this that people
Mm.
are, well, she said or he said or he did, and so that's a response to something that we are holding on to that we need to, like you said, teach me what it is telling me about who I am, what I um, have been conditioned to,
Hmm.
is another thing. I had a quote that someone I follow had said. Um, he said, "Don't waste a good trigger to help you learn and grow." So sometimes we do waste triggers because we get
Hmm.
all caught up in our head for 3 or 4 days or forever for some.
Longer, yeah.
Um, but it's a chance to look at our shadow, our
Hmm.
that dark side of ourself that we need to bring light to. And I feel that, well, that's what the shadow is, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's a chance to see that. But if we are on the other side of it, if we are saying what we need to say to someone with good intention, not with coming from a poor space, and we create a response that is not on us. That is on, just like it is for us if we react to someone, that is on them in looking at their own trigger, their own shadow um, to learn and grow from.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's so true. And it's hard to remember, or it's sometimes hard to think of, because I think a lot of people don't claim their power, don't stand in their power, don't stand their truth, speak their truth because they're scared they're going to trigger somebody. That's not on you. If they're triggered because that's their invitation for growth. And as long as, like you said, if you're speaking from your heart, you're speaking your truth, you're standing in your power, and they're triggered by that, that's their invitation. And that may be save the date kind of invitation for a year from now, but that's not on you. And so I think a lot of people kind of hold themselves back because they're like, oh, I might trigger someone. And especially I think empaths really come up with that. Like I may trigger them, I may upset them, I may, if it's your truth in that moment and you are speaking from that heart space, then if it triggers them, good. Then it's supposed to. And it may not be, like I said, it may be way down the line, like it may have to be a seed that's planted within them. But I know for me, like I said, and I can recognize my triggers pretty fast, that because I've done so much work and the awareness and everything, it feels like nails on a chalkboard to me. And it just is like that irritating kind of, that didn't sit right with me. That did not sit right. And then you can course correct and you can grow from it. And part of that is the forgiveness, and like you said, the shadow work and stuff like that, and inviting that into the light. um but yeah, I think a lot of people hold themselves back because they're worried they're going to trigger someone. It's a gift, it's a blessing to be triggered, I think. I don't love it all the time, I can honestly say that, but it is a blessing because it gives me that much more awareness
Yeah,
of
it's
where I
that
still have
layer.
some growth.
Yeah, it's that layer. And I love that save the date because sometimes we bring ourselves back to something that has happened and we go, hey, wait a minute. Whoa, I've grown
Hmm.
now. Now I know that that was all me. That was on me, man. Right. So, um, I love that, the save the date. And
That just came.
yeah, that's a channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and being in a space where if you're truly healing, truly connecting to your own self, your own awareness, you will notice that a trigger is a space to go there, to sit back. Um, I know I sometimes am over, I don't know what you want to call it, um, where someone says something to me and my intention was from like a really good space, like helping someone, and they respond to that with something really bad. And
Hmm.
I go inward and I go, okay, well, why am I feeling like this? Why, like, what's wrong with my chat? Like, I need to go into those spaces. Like, what is, and I go almost too far. And then I come out 3 days later and I go, hey, wait a minute, this was not me. Right. But
Yep.
it's also that space where I'm just want to help. Right. So
Hmm.
that's that. Um, I'm not going to say rejection, but there's another word there, but where I feel like, well, hey, I'm just doing my best here. So where do I not feel confident in feeling that just because they can't appreciate it or want it does not mean that I'm not worthy of
Yep.
help still, right?
um
There's those
Go
both.
ahead.
No, go. I just said there's both sides of that. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And I was, that is so an empath pattern of internalizing it and taking it. Um, okay, I should have said it differently. I should have said it, like with more heart. I should have said it, in a happier tone, or even like I was talking to someone the other day about it, about even stopping to think before you say something, because you have to make sure you have the right word. If is and is it politically correct? Is it this? Is it that? Is it nice enough? Do I have the right tone before you actually say something? That's not speaking your truth totally. That is sugarcoating your truth. And that is still people pleasing. Sorry, it is. But it is, if we are totally speaking our truth, and it is our truth in that moment, then it is what it is. And how it's received, like anything, just like you can't make anybody happy, you can't make anybody mad, you can't make anybody whatever, any feeling. However they choose to feel is how they choose to feel, because
Yeah.
they've received it how they have. And so many, and especially I think empaths, because they can feel how the other person is receiving it. That's not on you. If
Yeah.
you are speaking your truth, that's not on you how it's received. And there's so many that hold themselves back for that reason.
Yeah, and I feel that we are in a space right now where we're moving more into authenticity. We're moving more into who we truly are, and as we should be. I do feel that.
Hmm.
But we also have to realize that there can be two different things that are true at the same time, right? Um, so that's a space where, again, we need to go inward to go, okay, is this something I need to really say? Does it matter if I say it? Am I just saying it to be heard, to be right, to be,
Hmm.
those things, right? So I talked about that with the energy update this morning that I posted on my YouTube. And if we're not going inward to seeing where we sit in all of it, it's pretty hard not to have chaos outside of us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk a little bit more about? I haven't listened to your energy update. I don't know if you posted it yet, but
I did.
um, because I think it's absolutely true. It can be two things at once. It's not a this or that. It's this and that. And I
Yeah.
think that that's huge. So you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
About two things being true at the
Yeah.
same time? Well, yeah. Well, your truth may not be my truth. It does not make anyone right or wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and there's just a space there for us to kind of step back and realize, is this a belief or is this a truth
Yeah.
within us? Because our beliefs have been conditioned within us, and we're just taught to believe things that maybe are not our truth.
Absolutely. So much conditioning around that.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to even, like like I said, when I feel like I'm triggered, and I know, because like I said, nails on a chalkboard, and I just feel it within me, I always just pause and breathe, and like, is this me? Is this like, what's going on here? Why did this not feel right to me? Is this my conditioning coming up? And so my ego is like, oh, we were a bad girl. Or is this something that I'm not aware of, or I'm not paying attention to? Is this my invitation, or are they reacting this way because it's their invitation?
Yeah.
And like you said, am I saying it because I need to be validated? Am I saying it because I don't really believe it, and so I'm spouting off stuff just to try and make myself believe? Or is it truly, it needed to be said, and that's it? It needed to be said, and they took it how they took it, because
Yeah.
that's triggering something in them.
Yeah. And with that, um, I can say that no response is a response.
Absolutely. I have a dog that's going to bark, so that's why I
Oh,
put it
that's
on
okay.
mute. He's going to go crazy in a minute.
We're here. We're just doing this live,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, he put his head down. Thank gosh. There's a dog that just walked by.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, that's true. And the first time I read that, no choice is a choice. And so it woke your dog up too.
yeah. Oh,
Just saw your dog moving.
no, I
Um,
kicked him.
oh, But that's so true. And I think we don't think of that. It's like, but that puts us in victim mode right away. Because I think when we're like, well, I didn't make the choice, but you did. You know, if you really sit with it and everything, not making a choice is a choice.
Yep, 100%. And I've had conversations, especially as of late, where um, there has been a trigger response and the lash out back. And I will sit with that and I'll sit, is this mine? Or is this a trigger, right? For who, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then I will take my time in responding, and I don't need to be heard. I don't need to be right. I just don't. I just, you know what? I understand.
Hmm.
However, that it and it's up to them to process what they need to process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think on the other side of that, and I know that this is something that I really struggled with, especially from my social work background, is that we don't get to decide how people take us or perceive us or how the message is received or when it's received. Um, and I think that that's really hard. And I think that's when we move into ego, you know, like even if we say something and we're speaking our truth, but then we're like, okay, I really need to pound this home or I really need to teach them this lesson. And we keep bringing it up or we keep, you know, keep going on. And you can obviously see they're triggered. That's where you have to, I mean, I have to, you know, stop myself and go, okay, why am I trying to really drive this home? That's, then that's my ego, you know,
Yeah.
again, trying to prove that I'm right, trying to prove that I'm understood,
Yeah.
trying to prove that I know more or whatever, or I need the validation, or I need, or I'm trying to be that hero rescuer where I really can see that this is a good lesson for you. So I'm going to really drive it home for you, not my parts.
Yeah.
And so that's when I can easily slip into the ego too, with that conditioned mind of I need to prove it.
Yeah. And that's where I have learned now, I don't need to say that why I said what I said. I don't have to explain myself.
Mm-hmm.
Or apologize for something. That is another thing. We apologize. Oh, I'm sorry for me speaking my voice. Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you. Um, it's not, again, that's a choice too, right? And that's a space where we are trying to be authentic. We are trying to have a voice, and then it's like the reaction. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I must be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what is that other person on the receiving end? What do they learn from that? Do they
Yeah.
learn those, that learning experience, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I often say now, I say I'm sorry and not sorry.
Yeah.
Especially when I know I've like in sessions or something and I know that I brought something up that's triggering someone, I'll be like, sorry, not sorry. Um, or the other thing is I'll say, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry that you took it that way.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I
because,
am.
yeah.
Because I'm not
Yeah.
trying to hurt somebody, but I'm
Because
not apologizing for what I said.
that's
I'm
right.
sorry that that's the way you took it.
Yeah. Because your intention was not for that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why when we set boundaries, that's a whole nother topic. When we set boundaries, um, we can't be sorry for setting a boundary because we're honoring ourselves. We're honoring
Hmm.
our time, possibly, right? And it's a space where, I'm coming from a space of love. I'm coming from a space where, if it's say if someone keeps taking your time away from you, expectations of uh, doing everything for me all the time, and they set a boundary, we can't be sorry for honoring ourselves. Maybe it's gonna affect our health, our mental mind, all of the things, right?
Hmm.
So it's a space where I'm coming from a space of love. This is what
Absolutely.
I'm seeing. This is what, you know, this, and I'm in a space where if this is causing a trigger, it's not my intention,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's And lots of times, just us being in our authenticity triggers people.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about that. And our tendency, if that's what our background teaches us, is to then shrink ourselves. And that's not, and like you kept saying, like the time now is to really step into that. And so right now we are really being challenged with that to be, to step into our power, to step into that strength, to step into all of that and stop shrinking ourselves for the fear that we have triggered or that we feel that we've triggered somebody else.
Yeah.
Because our light triggers the shadows in others. And whether they're ready to look at it or not, there's a reason that the universe brought that interaction to you.
Yeah.
And so for both, it's for the highest good of all. And if that is to trigger somebody, that is to trigger somebody.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I know you too in sessions, you say what you say because that's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
And when I have sessions too, sometimes the things that come out of my mouth or the way it comes out can feel really like in your face. And it's like, that was a little bit harsh, but that's the way it was supposed to come out
Yeah.
because that's how they needed to hear it.
That's right. And if you sugarcoat it too much, then it doesn't create a response. Not that you're trying to create a response, that's not what I'm saying, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Oh, and if you sugarcoat it, the message is not clear.
Yeah. Well, I just had a session too where, because like I said, I just, whatever comes out, comes out. And she's like, the way you explained that was exactly how I needed to hear it. And that's the thing. And I mean, I know it's different when I'm working with someone because we have that spoken, unspoken agreement that they're there for their growth. But it's the same thing with people, like if I'm talking to someone and I say something a certain way or I come across a certain way. But again, like we both kind of said, I do it with awareness. So I'm always aware of how I say things. And if something comes out of me that's pretty harsh or harsher than my tone usually is or something, then I check in with myself. Like, is this me? Is there stuff going on within me? Or was this just the way it needed to come across?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, whoa, that was a little bit of a slap in the face. But that's sometimes the way it needs to come out. So,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yep.
and I'm not going to apologize for that. Not anymore.
No.
I did
Well,
a
yeah,
lot.
because we're we watch out for people's feelings. Yes, as we should, but still being authentic in it, right?
Hmm.
We don't have to be a really nasty at coming across setting a boundary. We can come from a space of love, from a space of compassion. Please feel how, you know, please allow yourself to put yourself in my shoes in, disrespecting my time or whatever, right?
Hmm.
um, and being able to voice that and being in a space of compassion and empathy where you can say how you feel.
Absolutely. And I think with boundaries is so many people think that it's about putting, like, keeping people away. It's not. It's about honoring yourself. And it's so even if it comes across as like a no, I'm not going to, or no, I'm not going to spend my time. I can't spend my time right now. I don't have the energy right now, or anything like that. Like I said, it's coming from self love. But there was another part, but I can't remember what I was going to say. I can't remember. It's gone.
For me also, it's an understanding for you to
Mm,
understand where I might be coming
yeah.
from my story and my vision, my um what I've gone through, and respecting that.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah, turning the mirror around for them to see sometimes um their reflection when it's how do I say that? um I'm kind of going off topic here. Turning the mirror around for them to see, your reaction is not who I am
Hmm.
as a person, right?
I think what you're like, because of what I just got with that is it's about coming back to that authenticity, please.
Yeah,
It's about being your authentic self. And if they have crossed over a boundary and you need to set that in a stern way, or you need to say, like, no, my time is important. So you've wasted my time by, booking this appointment or booking this time slot with me and then not showing up or something like that.
yeah,
It's about being that authentic self too, and saying it, speaking your truth again, back to speaking your truth.
yeah, yeah, very much.
I think the word trigger is really interesting because to me, it's always the autopilot. Like it, whenever I'm triggered, it's my autopilot response to things. And that's when I go, okay. So the hugest thing for me is just to stop and breathe, to like stop that autopilot response, because that's, when I feel triggered, it's that then I go into my autopilot response, which is usually my conditioned response.
Yeah,
And then that's when it causes the issue
yeah, very much.
for
And
both people.
yeah, yeah. And that's why it's important to breathe. And that's why it's important to bring yourself back to your center to go, okay, wait a minute. Let's just analyze all of this without analyzing.
But it's analyzing, but it happens so fast too. Like
Yeah,
when you're used to doing it, it's like it's not like it when you first start out, there's definitely times where it takes like a little bit longer, but it happens so fast. It's like there's a quick little like checklist almost, like, okay, what am I really feeling? Where is it coming from? Oop, that doesn't feel very good. Oh, okay, I've been triggered. Da da da, and we're
yeah,
moving on. Or, oh no, that's not me. And okay, I'm good.
yeah. I'm coming back to that save the date. That's like you get after you sometimes think about how things are and someone's response or whatever, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. Let's just rewind this and do a self check.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know part of what I've had to learn is when I've left a situation and I've felt that feeling of like I said, nails on the chalkboard and just uncomfortable, and I've realized that it's a conditioned response. One of the hardest things I had to learn, because my ego did not like this at all, is I had to go back and go, you know what? I'm really sorry. I acted on autopilot. That's not what I meant to say. This is what I meant. Because that's part of correcting that pattern too within us. Because, I mean, we all have triggers, we all have things. And that's part of that growth and expansion thing, like we talked about at the beginning, is being able to go back and it may feel uncomfortable, but going back and going, yep, nope, that was me on autopilot. That was my conditioned
Owning it.
response. Yep, totally. And then yeah, and then say this is what I meant to say,
Yeah.
which is recreating that um pattern, or it's stopping that pattern and showing a different way,
Yeah.
which like I said at first was really hard. And with certain people, I have to admit. Um but it's definitely, I can tell when I don't want to do it, it's because my ego's like, no, I'm right. And it's like, no. And so then yeah, it doesn't like it very much, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here today,
You're
everyone,
welcome.
and everyone else for listening. Both of us will post it on our own YouTube pages and all the other socials, all the good things. And please take the time to like, share, and subscribe it because that helps both of our channels and helps every reach more people and all the things. So yeah, we will.
We didn't say, now we are on it's a podcast. We're now on
Oh, yes.
iTunes and my Substack, and out to Spotify and some other platforms too. But those are the big ones.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. And I hope everyone has a magical day, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Much
See you.